Welcome to the CEN show. We have a special edition show tonight. We have the CEN Sports Talk, Second Take Sports Talk with Ronnie Roberts. And we have two exceptional guests this evening. Before I get to them, I'm going to introduce myself and then the panel. I'm Rashaki Maskani. I'm the host. And then we have Ernest McBride. We got Professor Rahh. We have a parental person here, Brother Tarrance. We got Brother Rahh, and we got the co-host of the Second Take Sports Talk, which is Ronnie Roberts. And so what I want to do tonight, I want to start off with a few little stories here. My buddy here, Tarrance, is somebody that I grew up with. We probably met each other when we were about, maybe, 9, 10 years old, even younger than that, probably.
Yeah, it's probably about 8, 9 years old.
Okay, so yeah, we were
around there.
We were teeny boppers. Matter of fact, I remember him playing football when he was I think in the 5th grade or something like that. And I was in the 3rd, and I haven't even played no sports yet as far as the organized sports. So we go way back then, and let me tell you, he's an exceptional person. And I wanted to tell you guys also about being called OG. Right now, every time I go to the gym, because I still play basketball. Matter of fact, I started back. I didn't stop and started back. And I am 60, so I started back playing basketball, and I'm playing a 50 and over league. So when I go to the gym, the younger folks call me OG, and I'm like, what's up with that? And so, back in the day, I was like original gangster, but now OG stands for, I guess, a senior type person. And I really don't consider myself that. But the reason why I'm saying that is on this show, we have people that are over 50 majority of the time on the show. And it's really, welcoming to have younger folks here on the show. We got 2 18-year-olds that's going to be our guests. I'm going to introduce them in a little while. But getting back to childhood. So Tarrance and I, real close. And we used to be in the street almost coming to blows about football. And I recall this one particular time we was having a heated game because we played touch football out there. Some people play tackle on the concrete. We didn't do that. We played touch. So we was having this heated game. It was heated. And I was pissed off at him because we was playing against each other. And something went down. I don't know if he recalls. Something went down. So we was damn near, we wanted to almost fight. And so it was a tight game. And I was talking so much mess. I'm like, man, I'm going to whoop your behind. And this dude, this dude is so talented. Back when we were kids, he wind up, scoring a touchdown to win the game. And I was so pissed off. I was like, man, because he was smaller than me. I said, that little mother, But it was a heated, excellent game. And he just, as kids, he was one of the best kids, talent-wise. I'm talking about in most of Compton. And that was in 5th, 6th grade. I mean, just awesome. We were on the same team. And we were playing the game, and Tarrance, before the game, we was messing around, and Tarrance wound up getting his eye. Something happened to his eye where his eye was.
Yeah, I got socked in the eye playing football and everything.
Yeah, we wasn't supposed to be doing that before the game, but so he got injured before the game, and the coach was pissed off at us. He was mad, but we were playing in the game, and I think we lost, and the coach just got on us, and he was talking about Tarrance out here hurt, playing his heart out, and all the rest of you guys wasn't doing too much of nothing. So, it just, he was one of the most gifted athletes as a little kid as they come. And I was like, wow, this dude just so talented. But the thing about it was he had a big heart. He was honest. He was courageous, and he just stopped playing ball because, like, we got into junior high school. He didn't start. Kind of stopped playing ball, and he was a heck of a track runner too. He used to run cross country as a kid, and I'm talking about he was good. And so I said all that to say I'm not surprised of the accomplishments of his son. His son is here, and I'm gonna introduce him. I ain't introduced him yet, but yeah, that was we had a real high competitive type atmosphere in Compton on our street. We had all kind of athletes come out. We had a couple of professional football players that came from our street. So it was highly competitive back then. So I want to just say I want to introduce the guests, and then I want to say a few things before I ask them a few questions. So we have Jaden J. Will Williams and Landry LBJ Ballard. And I'm gonna ask them about those nicknames and where they get it from, because we hear those names in the pros. So I want to know about that a little bit later. But I want to take my hat off to these parents of these two gentlemen here. They just graduated high school, and the parents did an exceptional job with them. I mean, you couldn't ask for, you know, they're like model type students and athletes and just general great kids. You know, it's just so much you can say about them, and they're polite, well behaved, all of that. It's like, where these kids come from? Because I'm not used to that. I've been teaching for about 30 years, and I'm not used to too many kids being that way. But it's a testament of their parents, the coaches, the school staff, their environment. You know, they were, I would say, raised the correct way. And then I want to say that they are really, truly student athletes. I actually watched their graduation online, and both of them are top 10 students of their school. They're top 10. So they are honor roll students. And you can't get it no better than that. And then you want to get to basketball? I've been following Jaden and indirectly Landry also since they've been little kids. They've been highly competitive on these travel teams as children. And at one point, and they're going to tell us, because I don't know exactly when, they were ranked #1 in the country as little kids. Their team was ranked.
Yeah, right before COVID.
Yeah, now so 2019, they were ranked #1 in the country. And if you know anything about Jaden, I know Landry have to be the same way because their accomplishments say it. He's been telling me about Jaden and his work ethic ever since he was a little itty bitty boy. He just, you know, want to be in the gym working on his game. And then I know Landry been playing with him since they was about 9 or something like that. I don't know. And their coach, they had the same coach from childhood all the way through high school. And that's a rare thing right there. So they accomplished a lot in basketball. Moving to their high school, they won 2 state championships. 2 state championships their junior and sophomore year. And I don't know if they made state as freshmen, but they were starting varsity as freshmen. And they went pretty far during that time. And then, unfortunately, they didn't win that 3rd state championship because Landry, one of their main players, I mean, clutch players, he went down with a season-ending injury. And you would say that, oh, man, they don't have a chance to win this championship because Landry's not there. But They got darn close, and they could have won the third one without Landry, but Landry was there. He just wasn't playing, but he was there. And we're going to get to all of that. So now I want to ask a few questions. Welcome, Jaden and Landry. I appreciate you guys coming out tonight. It's a pleasure to have you. You guys are great individuals, and I know that because Tarrance told me so, and that dude is so honest, he wouldn't lie. Well,
No. Okay.
But my first question is, and I'm gonna start with school, and you guys can both answer this in the order you want to. What motivated you to be such outstanding students? Because I know when I was coming up, school wasn't a major focus for me. We were playing so much sports, school kind of came second, but you guys managed to, be excellent students also. So one of you guys start off and tell me what motivated you to want to be excellent students?
Something that we take pride in is, we compete with each other on and off the court. So I would say like having somebody also pushing me off the court to do good in school, like who got the higher test scores or who's gonna do the homework the fastest and turn it in. Little stuff like that just kept us going, and then eventually like the grades just were good. We were getting good grades, and then the recognition just came with it.
Okay, and you're Jaden, and then Landry. Go ahead, Landry.
For me, yeah, like Jaden said, having somebody who can help motivate you and push you. We do compete in the classroom, but we also help each other. Like if it's something I'm struggling with, he might be good at. Something I might be good at, he's struggling with. And then, even as a kid, my mom always told me that like I couldn't sign an NBA contract if I couldn't read and I couldn't understand. So that motivated me from a kid to always be involved heavily in school, pay attention, because I got to be able to know what's going on when it's time for the big time.
All right. Next question. Now, like I said earlier, Tarrance used to tell me about how that Jaden would love to stay in the gym, wanted to go work out, wanted to play. So as youth, what drove you guys to be, so competitive as little kids?
I got this.
Yeah.
I would say mainly, it's just fun. Once you just love doing something. Ever since we were little, I could say we both love basketball. So just having to share that with somebody else, and working every day, you see yourself getting better. It's not even that, oh man, I'm finna go to the gym. It's more like I'm finna go play around with L in the gym, and we finna just get better.
Okay, Landry, go ahead.
My first steps was to shoot on a little tights goal. So I don't remember a time when I wasn't playing basketball. So it's hard to really know what motivated me then. But I just know now it's like for the love of it, I genuinely love playing basketball. It's not a time where anything's too hard in life where I can't just go to the gym. Like that's my safe space and all that. And having Jay Will, like every time we hang out, if we just even at home, we going outside to go shoot on the goal, and we doing something. We just always involved around basketball. So I don't know. I just love being around it.
Okay, well, tell us about that number one ranking team. How, who was on that squad? Was Jaden Mickens on that squad?
Yeah, Jaden Nickens. We had Jaden Nickens, Brady Handcuff, Roman Welch. Who was on there? James Greenhoward, me and Jay Will.
Where are these guys
Yeah,
now?
Devon Scott too.
Oh no, Devon wasn't on the team yet, Tarrance.
Oh,
he came.
Yeah. Oh, he came after. Okay, yeah.
He came. This is 7th grade. Yeah.
Right.
So Jaden Nick, his name is Nickens.
Yes,
sir. Nick.
Okay, so he's going to Kansas, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
On a basketball and football scholarship?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Wow, that's like exceptional. Now tell me this. Well, let me go to the next question. I'll get back to that. So I want you guys to tell us go year by year about your high school career in the accomplishment. Year by year. Your freshman year, yeah.
Freshman year, I say our biggest accomplishment probably was winning. We won a tournament in Norman, and Jay Will hit the game-winning shot to win the tournament. We was down mostly the whole game, came back, won that. And then what else did we do? Towards playoffs, we had a game. We was down 22 at half. It was like deep playoff run. We were coming through like the consolation side, trying to make it to state. And we won that game. We came back out of half, came back, won that game. And we made it all the way to the area consolation game. And that was like our biggest accomplishment, making it there. We were one game away from state. But we ran into Weatherford. We wasn't ready yet, I guess you could say.
And did I mention the high school? You guys, it's a historically Black high school, Frederick Douglass High School. That's where you guys just graduated from. Okay, so now what about the sophomore year?
As you know, we won state sophomore year. We had a really good year. What, 26, 27, 26-1. Early slip up game, you know. We bonded together over that game, but we beat teams from out of state. I don't think we didn't. That was the last time we lost to a team in Oklahoma. Like, we took that for 2 years. Yeah, all the way into senior year. So I would say, like, our run and playoffs and everything, we killed every team that was there. And then we got into state. And I would say that was where our biggest battle was. The game to go to the championship, actually. He hit the game winner in overtime.
Was this your sophomore year?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who hit the winning bucket? Or
Landry, the game winner.
Landry.
And Kingfisher, who were the
they had won. Yeah, they had won the last three state championships before that.
Okay, now who was that big guy on your team? You guys had like a marquee player. Who's the big guy?
Terry McMorris.
Now, what did he do after high school? Because he was a senior, right?
Yes, sir.
He went to Link Year Prep, his that coming out year. And then he went to right now he's at Eastern Illinois.
Eastern Illinois. How's he doing?
He's doing good, I would say. I mean,
yeah, he didn't play as much as he would like, but he definitely he got some good minutes, and they made the end of the season push. He got to play a lot during that time.
So now, what year is he in college?
He's going into his sophomore year.
Oh, okay. So he got a little ways to go.
He took a gap year, yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I hope his grades are good. That's what I hope. That's the main thing for me. Okay, what about your junior year?
Junior year, that's when we got Jaden. Jaden transferred in, but at the beginning of the year we kind of had a rough start. We didn't go undefeated like we wanted to. We lost 4 games early, and then turned the season around when Jaden came in. We beat Millwood, which is our rival school. Then we had Dynamic came. We had Dynamic, which is like Jermaine O'Neal's team. That's supposed to be one of the best schools in the nation. They were ranked number 4 at the time. And they came to Douglas to play us. We took it down to the wire. We lost by 3 points. Yeah, we was down, came back, sold it at the end, but it's all good. Then playoffs came, and we had Weatherford again, made it all the way through state. Weatherford at the championship, which we played our sophomore year. So that was our 3rd time playing them. Everybody expecting them to, because they won the last one. We won the one before that. They was expecting us to lose that one, but we won back to back. Yep. We was down 16, I think, at one point, like 3rd quarter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, came back, won that game.
Yeah, you guys were the comeback kids. Now, I've seen a lot of those games. especially junior and senior year. I saw a lot of them. So let's get to the senior year, and I want to start this off. Let me start off by saying, what did you guys do? How did you manage to get through? Like Jaden was injured most of the season, and then Landry, you didn't even get a chance to play. Did you play any games?
I played like maybe 45 seconds of the first game. Our third possession, I came down, tried to make a pass, and I just felt something pop. And yeah, I knew it was kind of over with after that.
Okay, so tell me this. This is very important. You guys basically had an adverse senior year, and you still were very successful. What did you guys do to get through this season?
We really just, after the loss of our point guard and stuff, it was kind of like a regroup mostly, because when we was going into the season, everything looked great. We just expecting it to be a breeze, but after we regrouped, new guys fell into new positions. Like I moved more to on the ball, and guys started taking more shots, playing more minutes. So I would just say, really, we just came closer together, and then our reason to be even on the court together and play as hard as we did is because for this guy right next to me, he gave us motivation just to him showing up every practice, every game. He's motivating us through everything we're doing. So we had a good mentality just going.
Okay, Landry, how did you handle the season? And evidently you made great contributions, not even playing. So how did you handle that adversity?
I handled it. It was tough at first. Everybody expected me to be down and sad throughout every game and stuff. But I was grateful that last year I got the opportunity to play, because last year I hurt my knee before the season, and it was the same injury. But they allowed me to play it. They just said I needed 2 months rest, and I was allowed to play that season. So being able to play my junior year, I was just grateful for that. So when the senior year came and I couldn't play, I really just took it as like I can help win in other ways. So I became more vocal from the sidelines, helping Jay Will be more of a point guard, more of a leader on the court, because he had to step into my role. I helped other guys, like Trevor Snell was one of our point guards, helped him a lot. Marty helped him, but it was kind of just, just trying to help other guys, because I still wanted to win it. I still would have got a ring if we won it. So I still tried really hard from the sides, and I even became part coach for a little bit.
No, you was an excellent coach.
Yeah, I was better than some of our sisters, maybe you could say. Nah, I'm playing.
I'm coming to you a little later, Papa.
See.
Okay, so guys, we're gonna move on to the next segment, and I just want to say, man, I'm very proud of both of you and the things that you have accomplished. You guys are model student athletes, and we can learn a lot from people like you, and I want you to have continued success. So now I want to go to Ronnie Roberts. Ronnie Roberts is an alumni of Douglas High School, and also he's an alumni of the school you about to go to, Jaden.
Yeah. Yes,
and
sir.
you guys, before I get to Ronnie, tell us where you're going to school next year.
I'm going to Langston University.
I still haven't decided yet. It's between post-grad and, I still have some JUCOs on the table.
Okay. All right, well, good. So Ronnie has a lot in common with you, Jaden and Landry, because he went to Douglas High School, and also he lives right out there. I mean, he was here in Long Beach, and we was teaching together some years ago, but now he's back home in Oklahoma City, and he decided to do the CEN Second Take Sports Talk, and we say with Ronnie Roberts. So Ronnie, come on right in, and let's kind of get this going with everybody about the Second Take Sports.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Good to see you two young men, particularly you two Trojans, for sure. and a future Lion, Langston Lion. A little bit about my journey, guys. I played. I went to Douglas from 60 to 64. First freshman class in 1960. Graduated in 64. Was in the top 10 in my class, I might add. And like you, Jaden and Landry, academics were of primary importance. I played football, and ran track, but there was nothing more important than academics. Simply because for me, my motivating factor was my dad. And my dad worked at one of the packing houses, they called them back in the day, Armour Wilson. My dad worked for Armour Packing House, which was just a meat processing facility. And he would come home from work every day, so tired and beat up, he would just sit in his favorite chair for an hour and smoke a cigarette and pass out before he could get his clothes off and take a shower. Well, I vowed to myself, just seeing him and the struggles that he went through, that, man, I want to work in an office. I want to wear a tie. I wanted to have a professional job. So education was always of paramount importance to me because I knew it was the way for us to escape as men of color. It's the only way, literally. Well, not the only way, unless you're just a super athlete. And even if you're a super athlete, you have to still deal with the educational system. And the better you are as a student and a scholar, the better you will be as a player, the better you hone your money, the better you'll be able to build generational wealth for your family. That's what it's all about in these big $1 million contracts. Congratulations to you, particularly Jaden, for choosing to take your talents to an HBCU. You could have gone elsewhere, I'm sure. Yeah, HBCUs need young men like you. Number one, not because you're an athlete, but because you're a scholar. Number two, and even before number one, you're a young man of good character, which is what it's all about. Having good character for you two guys to sit here and talk to us adults and hold your own is just so important, man. Your character will outlast and outshine every trait you have. Character is what you have when no one's looking and you're doing the right thing. And I can just see that exuding from you two. And that's what it's all about. The game that when Rashaki came down in the fall and we went to see Douglas play, was the first high school basketball game I went to in the state of Oklahoma in 50 years, literally. I've been here for almost 5 years now and I never caught a game. I almost went to a Millwood game with a partner of mine a couple of years ago. But
I'm glad.
yeah, when we came, and by the way, my girlfriend taught at Millwood for many, many years. When we came, I met Tarrance for the first time, and my impression of Tarrance was even greater when I saw you and the way you carried yourself on the basketball court. Remember at all times, Jay Will, or Will Jay, you're a reflection of your dad. So keep that in mind when you go to the yard, that's what we call Langston. Keep that in mind wherever you go in life. So you want to reflect well for Tarrance and all the hard work he did to get you to this point. I'm certain you understand that. And I'm certain the same thing goes for you, Landry, with your parents. Because I can already see, I don't know your parents, I've met your parents like I have Jaden's, but I can just tell you come from good stock. And that's just so important. And then the character issue. As far as the academics are concerned, the academics are great, but the athletics at Langston, man, very competitive athletics for a program that has literally zero money. But that's the case for most of the HBCUs in the country. When I got out of high school, I went to Howard University, which is literally the Harvard and the biggest HBCU there is. And I played college football for a year. And it was an eye-opening experience, for real, because to step up from high school to college, as Rashaki can tell you, when he went to Washington State, it's like night and day. You got, in essence, some grown men that you're playing ball with, but I'm sure you guys playing on the AAU circuit, playing in high school, playing in the local gym, played with some older cats. And you can see the difference right away. And what they do is really, they make you better. You got to step up your game. You know, you go from boys to young men to playing with real men, guys 19, 20 years old who've been around and their bodies are fully developed and you guys are pretty developed right now, but you'll be shocked at the improvement you make, Jay and Landry, in that first year of college. You're going to get bigger, you're going to get stronger, you're going to get more resolute academically and mentally, and your whole entire game will improve, and you'll see things that you never dreamed of, and you'll see the possibilities that you can make with your life. And that's just not just on the hardwood, but it's just your life in general, because most guys are not going to play professional. Not saying you guys don't have a chance, but boy, let me tell you, just grind in the classroom. Good things will happen to you one way or another.
Yes, sir.
Man, being Douglas graduates, we give my class, the class of '64, we giving $2,000. We give scholarships every year to Douglas grads, and almost all of them, shockingly, have been 90% of them are the young ladies, and that's alarming to me as a Black man. But I do understand that scenario, because you go to any HBCU in the country, and predominantly females. And it's becoming like that at the Caucasian institutions as well. Females are dominating the collegiate life, numbers-wise, and certainly for graduation-wise. So it's just grinding, getting that degree is what it's all about. Being the best ball player you can be, but staying solid in the classroom will make you what you want to be. But the one thing I found out that first year in college playing football at Howard, the difference between high school and college is huge. It's like college to the pros, huge. But if you prepare yourself mentally, that jump is not so tough if you have the physical gifts. What I learned from watching pro football up close and personal, because we had season tickets to Redskin games, but these guys were just another breed of animal, a beast. And, you know, it just made me focus even harder on trying to get the academic side together, because I knew right away I wasn't going to be a professional football player. You know, I think every kid in college has that dream. You know, maybe if I keep improving, maybe if I get myself here or get myself there, I can have a shot to, you know, get in somebody's camp and make an impression. That's a possibility, but that's not a possibility that even some of the better athletes at the D1 school should be really considering, because the chances and the numbers game are just against you so much in that realm. But the academics can never fail you. The good character, that can never fail you. The staying true to who you are and making your family proud of yourself, that part can never fail you. And I want you two young men to know that I, as a Douglas High School graduate and alumni, have been following the exploits of the Trojans over the last few years, and I'm absolutely amazed, because when I was at Douglas High School, there were 2,000 students. We had 360 in my graduating class, which is more probably than the whole school has at this point. I read an article, we were talking to your principal, and it was just 125 seniors in the class. Is that correct, Jaden? And you guys, so when we were there, we were the top class in the state because of the numbers. We had 2,000 kids. Now you guys are literally a 2A school population-wise playing against the big boys. 4 and 5A schools, same thing with Millwood. Millwood is amazing. What are you guys? You guys are 4A and Millwood 3A?
Yes, sir.
And your population levels don't support that whatsoever. I know schools can petition up, but what you guys have done on the northeast side of Oklahoma City, with the low population numbers you have, and just the lack of resources, even though Douglas is probably the finest physical plant in Oklahoma City. That is a beautiful school. What they've done there is completely gutted and rebuilt it, but it's a great facility. But you guys should pat yourselves on the back, because what you've done basketball-wise, academic-wise, going through a scenario where the whole neighborhood, I grew up 6 blocks from Douglas, maybe 9 blocks from Douglas High School. The whole community is literally gone as far as young people, producing young people. I mean, the houses, the neighborhood is not great like it used to be. And still, that school and that tradition thrives, and it thrives because of young men just like you too. So I'm so proud of you. I sent a text to my classmates. In fact, we're having class meeting tomorrow at the Old Redeemer Lutheran Church on 16th and Grand Boulevard, half a block from where I grew up. And I will give a testimony about meeting you two young men and how great it was for our institution.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now, the nicknames. J. Will, or Will J. My first year teaching at McLean High School in Tulsa, you guys heard of it. Did you ever play McLean? Okay. My first year teaching in '94 was at McLean High School in Tulsa, which we had 950 black students, 10 white students, and 10 Hispanics. So we were like an HBCU high school like Douglas is. We had one of my most well-liked kids, one of my students, I had him in a business law, was named Will J. And his name was William Johnson. And he was a 6-foot guard, running back and defensive back on the football team, kicker, around a 800-yard dash, which they used to run back in the day. Just a super athlete, crazy, goofy guy. Not a student, not one bit, but just a fun-loving guy. And this guy was 6 foot, could just jump out of the gym. Just so talented. But I thought about you in my first year teaching Will J. Then I think about the J. Will part because Jaden Williams, J. Will the other night.
Yeah.
J. Dub.
40 ball.
40.
That just so ridiculous. So ridiculous. And he's not much bigger than you, Jaden. What are you, 6'4" maybe?
6. With the right shoes, 6'4".
He's 6'3.5" on a great
Six,
day.
3.5. Yeah.
See.
Earlier this year, I mean, he's a little taller than you, but he has a 72.5-inch arm reach.
Yeah.
A freak of nature in many respects. But the second take sports talk was primarily mostly about the NBA and NBA playoffs. And Rashaki will tell you from day one, I said Oklahoma City is the best team in the league and will win it if what happens, Rashaki, if J-Dub comes through.
Yeah. Much agreed. Much agreed.
From day one, I said if J-Dub can give me 20 points a night or just make his average for 21.6, we win it all. And we win it comfortably. And man, his first 2 games, he scored 16 and 17 points, and now he's just been rolling 26, 27, and then he dropped a 40 piece. That was a thing of beauty. He made himself some serious money.
Facts.
Yeah.
Serious money, because he and Big Chet are up for, they're not at the end of their rookie contracts, but they are eligible to get paid. And they're going to pay them $40 to $50 million a piece. And J-Dub is making like $6.5 million, and Chet's making like $12 million because he was the second player chosen. They're going to get some serious money, but they've earned it, no doubt about it. Big Chet had 9 points and 11 rebounds the other night, but so good, just defensively, so good, being able to switch at 7-1 and stay and get to stay in front of those guards. I mean, is this unreal, man? How this team, being a season ticket holder and seeing them from 2 years ago when I first started going to games, they have just made so much progress. And that's kind of reminds me of your situation Landry, you and Jaden had at Douglas. You guys started out together. You grew, started out as freshmen, as good players. By your sophomore year, you won a state championship. Your junior year, you are fortunate enough to get Jaden Nickens over from Millwood. And from what I understand, you guys all grew up together.
Yes,
sir. Back in the day. And he comes back to Douglas, and he's a heck of an athlete, just a freak. Just a absolute. I mean, because
our freshman 1-3.
Yeah, is he a better football player than basketball player?
That's hard to judge because he's a freak in both sports.
He's a freak in both sports, but I think he's actually better football player than he's a basketball player.
We all agree, yeah.
Yeah. Man, you can just see it just coming out. He's a hell of a player.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of student is he?
He's a great student. Yeah.
I think
He got it made. He's going to the right place because KU with Bill Self, one of the great basketball coaches in the country.
Yeah. Fact.
They have a rising football program. Their football program, KU used to be the laughing stock of the Big 8, which became the Big 12. But they're coming up. And they're getting a hell of a player in Jaden Nickens. Hell of a player, both ways. Both ways. Now, you guys said your coach has been with you since your early days. Is it Alexander?
Yes,
sir.
Yeah,
Stephen
Steve Alexander.
Yeah.
He's been playing for him since like third grade.
Okay. Because you guys seem to just operate so well, the way he communicates with you. By the way, Landry, I saw you doing some coaching. I saw you when I came to the game with Rashaki and was sitting there with Tarrance. I saw you encouraging your guys, and and Rashaki told me, well, he's a point guard and he's out. I just couldn't imagine what you guys would have been with you on the court. But I saw what you were doing, man. That's to be commended. A lot of players would stick around, but coming to all the practices and encouraging the players. That's again getting back to that character element, which I just love so much. I'm gonna wrap this up by saying, I know you young men have been watching the Thunder closely. I'm certain Tarrance has. And you both agree with my assessment about if JW plays like J-Dub plays like J-Dub, we can't be beat.
Right.
And what's so ironic about this situation? I think they'll wrap it up in Indianapolis tomorrow night.
Without a doubt.
If some hook or crook they don't, they're gonna swamp them in Game 7 here in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
But they will wrap them up. But just to see that growth from them struggling when I first got here in 2020, right during the middle of the pandemic, they weren't worth a crap in 2021. But just to see them grow, just to see Shea become the beast that he is, and he is an absolute beast. What he does, he's so good that I can't even compare him to any past player. I saw an article on Instagram this morning that Pat Bev, a player that Rashaki and I loved him and the way he went about the game, and Lou Williams, sweet Lou, 6 man of the year. They were talking about Shea during his rookie year, and Pat Bev asked Shea, "Do you know what you are, who you are?" He said, "Yeah, a good basketball player, NBA player." He says, "No, you're more than that." He says, "Well, I'm hoping to grow into a star player." He said, "You're already a star player. This is in his rookie season." And Lou Will and Pat Bev they were hazing the crap out of him like they do rookies in the NBA. But saying he was bringing it to every practice. He was always, he has a stoic demeanor. He's kind of laid back like you are, Jay Will. And just right on point about playing the game the right way. Well, Pat Bev told him, he said, "Man, you're not a star. You're going to be a superstar in this league because you're an absolute killer, and you putting in the work. If you guys hadn't heard this, he's the first player there at the Thunder, the last player to leave. I mean, that kind of dedication is just what it takes to be a great player." One of the guys from Indiana, there are 2 guys on there from Arizona. And Rashaki and I worked with a good friend of mine, Tito Ortiz, whose son was the basketball manager at Arizona, one of the student managers. And his guy is Ben Matherman. And as you know, in Game 5, when we beat them in Indiana, Ben Matherman missed 3 key free throws down late. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Ben shot 20,000 free throws in the next few days. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
20,000. Because he's normally 86% shooter, 85, 86% shooter. But I mean, anybody can miss a free throw. Even Steph Curry misses them. And he's like Mr. Automatic. But just that type of work ethic, that type of drive is what you guys are going to need to succeed, not only on the basketball court, but in the classroom as well.
Yes, sir.
I have a question before I diverse. Mr. McBride,
Yeah.
are you related to the Ernest McBride in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
I don't know, because most of my dad's people, my mother's people was from Bastrop, Texas, Cedar Creek, Texas, and my dad's people was in like North Carrollton, Mississippi. But I,
Mississippi. So Ernest McBride Sr. is your dad?
yeah. So,
My first classroom when I went to Poly, and Rashaki and I were in the T9 program, was right across the street from right down the street from the McBride Center. I used to go there taking some of my classes, and that's the last place I played basketball. Was at the McBride Center, and I was late 50s then. It hurt me so bad that I haven't tried to do it again. But that's a beautiful center. Now they have a great Ernest McBride High School.
yeah.
That's a state-of-the-art facility. Props to your dad. Your dad was just a beast. I mean, the civil rights activism, the community activism, and just being a good man. And, there is no Long Beach without mentioning Ernest McBride. I just want to give a shout out to your dad, man, because, man, an incredible human being, man. And his legacy, will just forever be felt in the city of Long Beach, but particularly for men of color. I want to segue want to hear from Tarrance. And Tarrance, I think I sent you a text, and I want to apologize for not talking to you personally about the loss of your parent. So sad. And I've been there. Rashaki has been there. Sure, Rahh has been there. It's just nothing like losing a parent. But you're a strong man, so I know you can go forward. So Tarrance, I want to hear your thoughts on this whole process.
Oh, and I'm sorry, on what process, sir?
The process, your sons matriculating to Langston, what you think about the Thunder and what they're doing, and just what you've done, your work, your seed. You should be so proud.
Yeah, actually, I am. I'm very proud of these two young men here. When Jaden first picked up a basketball, he was about 4 years old, 3 or 4 years old. Okay, and I I used to take him to daycare because I worked. My office is right down the street from the daycare, so I used to go there during lunchtime, and we go get lunch, and then we go to the park. During lunch and everything, and he couldn't. Of course, he couldn't. He was so little, he couldn't even shoot a basketball. That's all we was doing, is just dribbling around and everything, and kind of chasing the ball around. So and then I take him back up to the daycare, and then pick him up around 4 o'clock, bring him back to the office and everything, and then we go home and play basketball in the streets and everything. Uh, so that kind of got him, liking basketball and everything. We didn't hook up with Landry until they were in kindergarten.
Wow, they go back that far?
Yeah, I think.
We
Well,
actually went to
it was
school
actually by
together.
accident.
Yeah.
Okay, because Jaden and Landry, they was in the same class and everything, but only for one day. Jaden was there only for one day because he had transferred to my ex-wife actually had took him out the school and transferred him to another school and everything. So that's the first time they actually met. They got a picture with each other. They didn't know anything about each other and everything during the time. Didn't know each other played basketball. Um, but moving forward, about in the third and fourth grade, they met up and everything, started playing together, and by the fourth, fifth grade, we were going to the gym before they go to school. 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. That's how dedicated they were. You know, uh, Jaden used to come in there in the morning, and hey, Dad, let's go to the gym, or the night before, let's go to the gym before we go to the go to before I go to school and everything. So we did just that and everything. Get Landry, same. Get Landry and go uh get some shots up, dribble and everything. So they was pretty much dedicated. As far as education, I always preach education first in the household here. With Jaden and even Tasha, Landry's mother, the same way. She preached education first. Like you guys, uh, you know, um, you can break a leg, um, and your career can be over just like that, you know. But you know, the books and everything, that knowledge and everything, they can't take that away from you. So no, we always preach that and everything. Stay on top of your game. It's uh, you dedicated to basketball. You be the same way in school. In those books.
Absolutely.
So but yeah, I used to take them to the gym, and actually I used to have them. I used to actually pay kids,
Yes.
older kids, to play these two. On
Mhm.
some one-on-ones and everything. And they always joke about this because they said they never did get any of the money. I always gave it to the other kids. They looking for their payday. You
Mhm.
know, but
That's pretty
it
fun.
listen, but they was beasts. I got to say they was some dedicated kids and everything. To the craft thing, and I couldn't have, to where they at right now, I couldn't have dreamed this any better than what it have turned out to be. They well respected in the community, both of them, um, academically, and basketball. Um, Landry, is a McDonald All-American nominee. You know, uh, Unfortunately, he didn't, get to, play out his senior year and everything. Um, but he's gonna, he's rehabbing and everything. He'll get back on top of his game. You know, um, as Jay Will, he's actually rehabbing too. He was at a municipal tear, at the beginning of the season and everything, and he played through the injury.
Right.
But
I remember that.
yeah, so they both, like I said, they had that will and determination and everything, and that fight, in them and everything. And I'm so proud of them, you know, uh, especially academically, to be, the top 10% in their class,
That's
says a lot about them too. And the character, you know, um, they're humble kids, so I'm, you know, it I don't want to pat myself on the back and everything because it takes a village
oh,
to raise raise kids, man. So, I think it's a testament to, you know, uh, their coach, you know, um, Landry mother, you know, uh, so it's different, aspects of people that came into their lives and everything to get them to where they at, too. So I'm pretty fortunate to have that village, behind them, everything. But
absolutely.
that's and I, as far as basketball, I think, without basketball, these two gonna still be successful in life,
That's what's important.
and exactly,
One last
so
question, Terrence. Terrence, how about this? When did you and Landry stop playing one-on-one? When did you and Jay Will stop playing one-on-one basketball?
oh,
When
when
could he? When did he beat you for the first
okay,
time?
wait a minute. So this story, right? Okay, I gotta tell this story real quick.
Okay.
Uh, so we were at the YMCA, okay, getting up some shots and everything, playing. So we was playing. What you was in what the sixth grade, Jay? Sixth or seventh grade?
7th grade. I was just coming back from a Achilles injury, so it was like
Right.
my first month actually like being back on the court.
Seventh grade. So we was in the gym, getting some shots up, playing around. So I said, hey, let's play one-on-one and everything. So we was, we was playing one-on-one and everything, and was I up? I think I was up.
He's lying.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, whatever, dude. Anyway, actually, I heard something pop, and I tore my Achilles.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that's the last time we ever played, man. That's the last time we ever played right there.
So
'Cause
before that, I don't think Jay was beating you, right? That's what I'm hearing.
say what? Nah, he haven't
Yeah,
beat me.
yeah,
Nah,
okay. You still undefeated. That's what I'm.
yeah, exactly. Thank you, Landry. Thank
I
you.
love to hear that, Terrence.
I didn't play in 6th grade year. I didn't play in 6th grade year. The last time I played him, I was in 5th grade.
Hey,
He didn't even let me. He didn't even let me grow up a little bit. So
whatever, man. All right, but
Absolutely wonderful. Wonderful. Uh, uh, when I was speaking to Rashaki the other day, he told me that you, Brother Rahh, were part of hooper yourself in your day.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Mm, you never know. I played MVP of the league my junior year in high school.
Oh,
Played for
you were out.
Tarkanian in college.
Okay. Okay.
Led first at that time 10th graders.
Okay.
We didn't have 9th graders, and I was the first one to start as a 10th grader. And but I never had no real good coaches. Even Tarkanian wasn't good when I played for him, and he's a Hall of Fame coach now. But
Yeah.
those were the days. But I just
Yeah.
got a couple questions I want to ask the youngsters. Are y'all in college or still in high school?
we're going into our well, I'm going into my freshman year.
At college.
Yes, sir.
And what about you, my brother?
Yeah, I'm going into my freshman year as well. Yes, sir.
Freshman year.
Yes, sir.
It's a challenge because you love the game, but you got to also understand that that's just something you do.
Mm-hmm.
That's just something you do,
Mhm.
and you try to get more out of it than you put in it. And what I mean, you put years in practice. It don't make no difference what your size is, even though they got 6'11" guards now, point forwards now, and with exceptional talent and unique skill. Steph Curry proved that, 6-footers can play. Muggsy Bogues showed that 5'9" can play pro. But the point is that the word student athlete, not athlete student. So what is your majors? Have you decided what your majors are?
I'm going into technology construction for my at Langston because they didn't have the I wanted to go into either architectural engineering or tech electrician.
Okay.
electrical.
And you said you might go to junior college, the other brother?
Yes, sir. I'm junior college or post grad school.
Yeah, yeah. Well, junior college is good because it's cheaper and they work with you closer and you can get a lot of your general eds out the way. And you know, they're not as challenging. But at Langston, you're going to get a lot of help. They take pride in getting students out of college.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Actually,
Yeah.
and during high school, we took concurrent. So like we took college classes while we were in high school, and we actually have most of our gen eds already done. I think we have.
Well, you still got some more. Well, I know in California you would have a lot more GEs to do because once you get to college, they have a whole different set. I mean, even though you took them at colleges, you know, that's lower division.
Yeah.
A community college, you was going to a community college, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's lower division. That's no higher than a sophomore, junior, sophomore. But when you get up to college, they have what they call 300 level GEs. It takes 124 units to graduate in California, and close to 66 something of them are general ed. And then you got the optional elections, and then about 30 to 36, sometimes 40. But if you're going into engineering construction, you're going to have a lot of one-unit classes and labs and things of that nature. But anyway, make sure you focus. Stay focused and stay disciplined.
Yes, sir.
Love the game, but have a plan, as your father was saying, to have a plan. Me and Rashaki played with brothers that played pro ball. Me and Rashaki, they lasted 3 or 4 years in pro ball. He been a teacher for over 30 years. I was a teacher for 34 years. We lasted way longer than them. You see what I'm saying? And they played pro. But you have more opportunity. The game is going to change like it changed for us. They got, you know, timers on your shooting, you know, now 3-pointers. They didn't have all that when we were playing. And you can palm the ball, you can hold people, you can do all kinds of stuff. But get into good physical shape. Don't lift weights and get the stamina, just like LeBron James. Don't be afraid to be a bodybuilder. Because if you're going to play in that sport and be your size, you're going to need a lot of strength. But the other thing is that stay disciplined, because one of the most dangerous places on the planet is college. You got fraternities, sororities, drugs everywhere.
Women.
Well, and some of these women will tell you, hey, you know, you want a joint, you know, you want to smoke, you want some of this body, you want to smoke some weed, you know, and all that type of stuff. So be careful, because women will turn you out, especially if you got some potential. But because you have a good father, that I'm pretty sure he's from the streets, because if he was in Compton, I grew up in watching Compton. He know all the games, and he know, and they'll never think
Yes,
you're
sir.
smarter than him, and that you can get by without him noticing if you slipping, because it's easy to slip. It's easy to slip. It's easy to get frustrated. But stay focused and stay disciplined, and then at the same time, remember that there's going to be over close to about maybe 70,000 to 80,000 athletes graduating from college this senior year, and out of them, many of them are going to be athletes. But as far as people graduating out of medical school or engineering school, it's way less than that. And that's what Dr. Javanja Kunjufu said. So I always have a bag of plans. But, you know, you can go to Europe and play. You know, they have that now. You can go to G League and play. But, you know, most professional basketball players only play about 5 years at the most. You understand? You can think of players you don't even hear about no more that was great. You understand? And most of them go bankrupt. You understand? Because they lived a fast life. You understand? Think. And as Malcolm X would say, think. and try as much as you can to stay clean. Because you can go into law enforcement, you can go into all kind of things while you're going through college and make money on the side to help your parents pay for it. But at the same time, man, just stay focused, man, and learn the science of basketball. Learn how to think on the court as well as play. They exploited us. All they wanted was our talent when we was coming. They didn't think black athletes could think. You understand? Now they always had a little white guard running around, 6'2", the Bob Cousies and stuff. But learn the science of the game if you can. I mean, listening to those commentators when you watch the game, letting you know what's a bad shot, what they should be doing. Study the game just as much as you study your math and your history.
Yes, sir.
And become a, like you said, I think you said you was coaching a little bit. That's good. Be a coach on the court and always encourage the other players. But at the same time, be focused that your main goal is to graduate from college. That's your main goal.
Absolutely.
It takes the average cat 6 to 8 years to graduate to get a 4-year degree. Not at the HBCU, but in the state universities and things of this nature. You can get through it. And I'm not saying you haven't been told these things before, but I have to reiterate them because I was a counselor, academic counselor, and I saw a lot of athletes who put athletics before they put their discipline and their understanding of the politics of the game and the political aspects of the game. But y'all seem to be focused. You seem to be disciplined, and you reinforce each other. You're good friends, and you stay close to each other, and keep an eye on each other and check each other. Check each other, because there's gonna be some ups and downs in life, and you gotta be able to handle them. People die, people get sick, your friends, and you can't break down. The last thing you want to do is blow a fuse or get mentally weak. But I'm glad to listen to you. I'm glad that Brother Ronnie and your dad was here, your coaches, and all of them have done a good job coaching you. And especially if you've been with a coach as long as you have. He knows you inside out. It's like a second dad. So that's a good thing. All right. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Brother McBride.
The only thing I just add with Brother Roberts and Dr. Rahh was saying is that degree is important. Athletics is great, but I found out, a lot of jobs I applied for once I had got that degree and I walked in there, they didn't really care because I did electronic technology at Long Beach City College, and I tried to transfer over to state, Cal State Long Beach. They didn't have electronic technology, so they say you have to either go into engineering or industrial technology. So I ended up in industrial technology. But most jobs I'd go to, they saw that degree, and then right away that tells the employer, well, this guy knows something. And so, and in most jobs, they don't care what, they just want you to be able to do their program. They got a program already. So when you come in there, they want to know that you have the ability to follow instructions and to do their thing, So that's very important. Like Dr. Rahh says, get that piece of paper. And then when you're in college, learn all you can, because basketball, you may or may not make it because it's real competitive, but so is life itself. So that's all I had to add.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Brother Rahh.
First, I'd like to say, like Brother Robert said, who is an incredibly good-looking man for like 78, 79 years old. I mean, you look as young as I do. I'd like to say kudos to the family because just looking at these young men and the way they present themselves, it's just a joy to talk to them and to hear their process of getting to where they are. Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, number 22 and number 3, correct?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
I was checking you guys out. And this point guard is incredibly nice. I'm talking about your penetration, your passes after your penetration. You a southpaw?
You said I'm a what?
Southpaw. Left-handed.
Oh yeah, I'm left-handed. I'm left-handed, yes, sir.
Okay, it's the old school. Southpaws considered the left-hand. Left-handers are considered southpaws. And your drive and penetration, I'm a proponent of using the glass. Such a sweet, soft touch off the glass and getting in and everybody penetrating in, you pushing it out to your boy, who obviously is a scorer. So your understanding of the game is obvious. Obvious. I saw you playing last year, 25. And this is my experience with, I went to Tulsa, Oklahoma, which was really just an experience. I'll leave it at that. And I was really looking, whenever I go someplace, I look for my people. And when I was trying to find, what I found was a plaque saying, okay, this is where the Black Bottom was. I think it was near a civic center or something. But I wasn't really able to find out where the community was. But I'm looking at the games, like you guys, I mean, and the schools, George Washington, I mean, Booker T. Washington, you're playing Booker T. Washington and you go to Frederick Douglass. So you obviously have communities there that are Black communities. I don't know how they're structured. Is it like an integration around and you guys just go to a Black or a popular school for the Blacks or something? I don't know if your Black community is, if they're all there together, or I mean, what's happening, because I had a problem finding where my people were, and the young people I asked that were downtown, they were white, kind of scoffed, kind of took it personally that I was even looking for you. So I want to know, and I know you come from a nurturing environment, and you're young, you haven't really done a lot of travel, you don't have a lot of gauges to gauge what your experience is as opposed to the rest of America. What was your experience like from nurturing, elementary, socially, growing up where you are?
I'll start. I grew up on like the north side of town, so it's different from the east side. You know, on the north side, it's kind of more so. I wouldn't say it's
White. Okay, you can say it.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Frozen.
Yeah, look, I could give you some. Let me give you some historical perspective on that. When I went to Oklahoma City, Douglas, the surrounding neighborhood was 100% Black.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, we had 2,000 kids during my senior year. All of those folks have moved out into the. They have some nice communities out by the Millwood area, Wildwood, some communities out there, but the true east side where the Douglas students come from is just no longer there. That's why I was commending these young men. That's why the numbers are so low. That's why they have 125 seniors. The community is gone. The community that fed into Douglas when I went there in the 60s is just completely different. All of us that are still living and still surviving, most of us live in Northwest Oklahoma City, where the Caucasians are. I live dang near in Yukon, where I am, and we probably have 20 Black families in my neighborhood of 300 homes. That's what it's like. So there is no surrounding community. The same thing goes for Tulsa, Washington. When I was playing Tulsa, Washington in high school, the surrounding community was 100% Black. Young families raising kids, and building those athletic and academic dynasties that they built. It's no longer like that. The area surrounding Tulsa, Washington is low income at best. All of the prominent blacks have moved to Gilcrease Hills, where I built a home, which is 3 miles from Tulsa, Washington, which is pretty close. And it's a predominantly black community that is not being infiltrated by whites. And where I taught in McLean was completely in the hood. And it used to be all black. It's the area my son was raised in. It's still all black, and McLean is probably the lowest rated high school in the state from an academic standpoint. So the communities are not there. That's why I was commending these young men so great. The communities are gone. The prominent black folks who still lend some support to those institutions don't live in the neighborhood anymore. The houses are old, mostly 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom houses. That just doesn't, they don't even have the plumbing, the infrastructure, the electricity to support internet stuff. So all of the folks are gone in the community. So that's a very, very insightful question you asked. I can understand if you went to Tulsa to find the black community, it's just spread out. Integration has gotten us, literally. That's
yeah,
why
I know when I was there, they had a black rodeo, and I was saying, I know you here.
That's
if
in
you got a
Bowie,
black
Oklahoma.
rodeo,
Yeah,
I know you here.
yeah. They had Juneteenth this weekend, 13th to 15th, in one of the parks in Oklahoma City. Very well attended function, very well. And we'll come together, and it's on the northeast side. In fact, it's not far from Douglas at all. What, half a mile?
Mm-hmm.
So they still have functions that are going on, but most of us, I mean, Tarrance, you don't live in the neighborhood, do you?
No, no,
No, we just,
uh,
it's just the housing in the neighborhood that surrounds Douglas is not fit. It's just not. It's just not.
Yeah, well, you cleared it up for me because it was, I
Yeah.
was kind of
Yeah,
confused as to what was happening.
we moved on and moved up and
Yeah.
left those communities behind. And what's going to happen with Douglas in the next few years? White folks are going to get it because they're expanding to the Oklahoma City Paycom Center is literally what, 3 miles from Douglas, maybe? We're in walking distance. We're within 3 miles from Douglas. So, you know, that area that used to be all black that is now the OU Medical Center, and all that housing and all those condos that are coming up, they're slowly coming that way. And white folks want Douglas High School because it's the finest facility in town. And we'll get it. Just because
gentrification is coming.
right.
Yeah.
That's what
gentrification is happening to Douglas.
exactly. That's what's happening because they're taking all those homes around in the Douglas area, the white folks buying up that property over there and everything and redeveloping that area.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you know, which forcing a lot of black people out.
Particularly lower income.
Yeah, the lower income, correct.
Yeah,
you won't be able to afford to get there in about 5 years.
Exactly. and these are actually, you know, 500 to $1 million houses they building around that particular area.
Of course.
Actually.
Of course. And I would like to say to Brother Jaden, now you say you're going to Langston University.
Yes, sir.
There are some dynamic people that come out of Langston University. And every year at their homecoming, they are true and faithful. You are about to step into a legacy, bruh. And I hope that you use it all up. Enjoy the whole experience.
Yes, sir.
That you're getting ready to have. This is going to be one of the best times of your life, and it's going to put you in a class with these people. You're going to be in a group of these people who are going to be your allies. And Langston is the brothers that I know from Langston, some dynamite cats.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
PhDs, masters,
Yeah.
and of course the Qs are the greatest things on the planet. But it's going to be awesome for you. I'm excited for you because you got the goods. And my other man is healing. Listen, number 22, Ballard Junior.
Yes, sir.
Had you played that last year, it wouldn't have been no fun because y'all have ran with it. Y'all have been
Oh
killing
man,
them.
without
Y'all
a
have been
doubt,
killing them,
without
and that
a
ain't no
doubt,
fun. So
without a doubt.
so I wish you the best. You guys the best, and I'm impressed and I'm proud of you, brothers.
Absolutely.
Keep on pushing.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and I got one more thing to say to Brother McBride.
Oklahoma,
I too have a electrical engineering technology associates, and I worked in Signal Hill with American Fiber Optics when they were first coming out. When the fiber optics was a new technology. So yes, get that paper. Get that paper, and the paper will get you paper. Okay, all right, my brothers. I'll
Yes.
holler back.
All right.
Oklahoma, Oklahoma City near each other.
Oklahoma City and Tulsa, 100 miles apart.
How far? How many?
Yeah.
100.
Okay.
Little
100
push.
miles apart.
I like 2 hour drive.
Hour and a half. Hour and a half.
Yeah.
Hour and a half.
So we look like it's time for us to do our close.
Excellent.
And Jaden and Landry want to hear some parting words from you. We also want to keep up with you, see what your progress is. If you want to come back, you
Yes,
know,
sir.
like at least once a year and give us a progress report, that'll be good. If you don't mind, that'll be a good thing.
Yes,
And,
sir.
and I'm looking to gather some scholarship funds from the old heads around here. So don't be surprised if you get dropped a few coins.
Right.
Sir.
And be sure and look up Uncle Ronnie at homecoming because I'll be there and let me drop some change on it too.
We both gonna be.
Look me up at homecoming because I'm always there with my girl. We'll be there. And
Okay.
I'll be flashing my Kappa colors.
Okay.
Kappa
A
Alpha
noob,
Psi till
huh?
I die.
Yes, sir.
You noob, huh?
I'm a noob.
All right. All right.
Absolutely. So be sure and look me up. I'll be there.
Okay. Yes, sir.
We look forward to that.
All right, Jaden and Landry, parting words.
You bet.
I would just say more than anything, just thank you for having us. People just who take part in our experience, watching us from freshman year or even before that, growing up, it just means a lot to have that backing behind us. And we appreciate you guys for, Douglas alumni, Langston alumni, I just thank y'all for sticking with me, and I'm gonna make y'all proud going forward.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Landry?
Like Joe Will said, I want to say first, I appreciate all you guys for your support. It truly is felt as a Douglas Trojan. I appreciate fellow Trojans, but I also just support all the like old heads who gave me support. And I don't mean to call you guys old heads, but
That's what we are.
Hey, that's all right.
yeah,
That's what
I'm
we
good
are.
with it.
you guys, I really listen to the advice you guys give me because it's crazy to see the things you guys say. It actually happens in real life, and it happens for myself. And I'm thankful that you guys give us advice because we listen to it and it helps us when we run into those things that you guys are telling us about. So I appreciate that, and I just look forward to just continue making you guys proud, making everybody proud, making Eastside proud. I'm gonna be somebody to remember one day.
And you already are.
Yeah.
Both of you guys, man. So keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
I'm proud of you too.
So I'm thrilled to be in company of greatness. And that's truly what you guys are at such a young age and all you accomplished. and much success moving forward. You always have a place here with us. Anytime you want, it's open to the public. We definitely gonna look out and do our best to support you as much as we can. And
Yes,
I'm proud of you. And keep up the much needed success and be the example that people need to follow.
yes, sir. We got you.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Thank you.
appreciate you being here. Professor Rahh, what do we have next week on Tuesday?
Tuesday, I'm gonna be discussing the Iran-Iraq war, the mass deportations of citizens, the current events of that we're going through. Because we just got to stay on top of that. What they're doing with the bringing Marines into cities and states. And, we need to take a position on that and be aware of that, what's going on, especially if this war escalates, the devastating effect it's going to have on our economy. I mean, as far as gas, as far as, you remember, Ronnie, we used to have to line up to get gas on odd days, even days. It could get
73 and
real funky,
74, unreal.
Get real funky. So we need to talk
Unreal.
about strategies and then understanding of what's really going on with regards to why they are. It's not about nuclear weapons because Iran don't have it. Israel has a nuclear weapon, but Iran don't. And Iran and the investigators that are monitoring them said they weren't even trying. They told America during Obama, they don't even want no bomb, no nuclear bomb. But they blamed them for supporting the struggles for the Palestinians trying to get their land back and providing weapons and things to various little small groups to resist the oppression of America and Israel on them. So anyway, we're going to be discussing those things. And hopefully everybody will look up some information and have some good questions.
Okay. So next week on Wednesday, we have Brother Muko coming, and he will give me the topic soon. I talked to him today, so Brother Muko will be here. All right, everybody, appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Thanks a lot, Tarrance, and the supporting cast of Jaden Landry. Everybody have a wonderful evening, and we're going to keep doing what we're doing. Each one teach one in Conscious Corner. Have a great evening.